The wind howled through the rusted tin roof as Amara sat beside a flickering lantern, peeling overripe bananas in silence. Outside, the Lagos rain poured like the heavens were weeping with her. It was another cold night in the one-room shack she shared with her two younger siblings, Chisom, aged 10, and little Kioma, just 6. Ever since the tragic car accident that claimed their parents' lives, 18-year-old Amara had become more than a sister. She was a mother, a father, and a shield against the cruel world. They had lost everything that day: their home, their security, and their sense of belonging. What remained was a small wheelbarrow, a basket of bananas, and Amara's unyielding will to survive. Every morning before dawn, she pushed her banana cart to the market. She'd walk barefoot for hours, calling out in a voice both hopeful and tired, "Sweet banana, fresh banana, buy for your pikin." Yet despite the hardship, she never complained. Her siblings' laughter was enough fuel to keep going. On this particular rainy morning, with her basket only half full, Amara took her usual corner near the roadside. Most people were rushing past, trying to avoid the rain. But one figure caught her eye: a ragged man, seated beneath a stone at a corner, shivering in the cold. His clothes were torn, his beard unkempt, and his hands trembled as he pulled his wrapper tighter. Others walked past him without a glance, but Amara couldn't. She stared at her few remaining bananas, then at the hungry man. Her stomach growled. She hadn't eaten since yesterday. Still, she pulled 2 ripe bananas from her basket, walked to him, and knelt. "Uncle, please take," she said softly, placing them in his hands. "I don't have much, but you can at least manage it." The man raised his eyes, filled with tears. "Thank you, my daughter," he whispered, almost inaudible. Amara smiled faintly. "Please leave the rain, Uncle. You can come and stay beside my stall. When the rain is over, you can continue your journey." The man appreciated her and walked with her to her stall. Amara didn't know it yet, but that single act of kindness would rewrite the entire course of her life. The next morning, Amara woke early, careful not to disturb Chisom and Kioma, who were still curled together on their shared mat. She tiptoed past them, packed her basket with bananas, and headed to the market. The streets were muddy from the previous night's rain, but Amara pushed her wheelbarrow through the filth with quiet determination. People were already calling out prices, shouting over one another to attract customers. The competition was fierce. Amara found her usual corner, greeted a few familiar faces, and began calling out softly. Her eyes occasionally glanced toward the spot where she had seen the beggar the day before, but he was gone. Maybe he had moved on. She shook off the thought. There were more pressing things to worry about, like feeding her siblings tonight. Over the next few weeks, Amara noticed the beggar occasionally returning to the same spot. He never begged from her again, but she always gave him something: bananas, water, or just a kind word. He said little, but his eyes always lingered on her with a strange intensity. Some market women mocked her for helping useless beggars, but Amara paid them no mind. One afternoon, as she handed him another banana, he finally asked, "Why do you help me?" Amara smiled. "Because I've known what it means to have nothing. And because, maybe one day, someone will help me too." The beggar never told her his name, and Amara never asked. She called him Uncle. He listened when she talked about her siblings, about how Chisom wanted to go back to school, and how Kioma always asked for milk they couldn't afford. He would nod and listen quietly, never interrupting. Though dressed in rags, there was something about him, his eyes, his posture, that didn't seem entirely poor. One evening, Amara returned home with fewer sales than usual. Her siblings were hungry. She cried silently as she cooked the small yam they had left. Then came a knock on the door. It was Mama Nkechi, a market woman. She handed Amara a small bag of rice and beans. "You're too kind to others, Amara. Let me be kind to you too." Amara wept and hugged her. Little did she know, someone had watched the entire scene from the shadows: a man in dirty clothes, his heart breaking at her humility. The beggar stopped showing up. A week passed. Then 2. Amara wondered if he was sick or worse, dead. She searched for him in the alleys and gutters, but found nothing. Something inside her missed him deeply, not romantically, but as a silent friend. Her heart felt the absence of someone she hadn't realized she'd grown attached to. Still, she pressed on. Life was about moving forward. 2 months later, on a bright morning, a black Lexus SUV parked beside her banana stall. People paused, shocked. Such cars never came into their side of the market. A man stepped out, dressed in a luxurious way, his face clean-shaven, eyes hidden behind sunglasses. He walked toward Amara. She backed away, thinking he had the wrong person. Then he removed his glasses. It was him. Amara dropped her basket in disbelief. "Uncle?" He smiled. "Not uncle. My name is Collins Martins. I'm the CEO of Martins Enterprises and Transportation." Her mouth dropped open. "I don't understand. I was searching for a kind soul, not someone after my money. You didn't hesitate to feed me when you had nothing. You gave when the world took everything from you. That's a rare kind of heart." Amara blinked. "So, all this time you were testing me?" "In a way, but I never expected to find someone like you." Martins invited her for lunch at a nearby hotel. Amara hesitated. What would people say? But she followed him, heart pounding. At the restaurant, she saw a side of life she never imagined: fine cutlery, polished floors, and waiters calling her madam. There, Martins made his first offer. "I want to help you, not because I pity you, but because you deserve it. Let me sponsor your siblings' education. Let me move you into a better place." Amara's eyes filled with tears. "Why me?" He leaned forward. "Because no one else gave me, not even a water or banana." A week later, Amara and her siblings moved into a 2-bedroom apartment paid for by Martins. Chisholm and Keoma screamed with joy, jumping on the soft beds. Amara, overwhelmed, knelt and whispered a prayer of thanks. Back at the market, rumors flew. Some said she'd used charms to seduce a rich man. Others whispered that she had finally been rewarded by the gods. But the truth still remains that it was out of her kindness to the man they thought he was a poor beggar. Although they were happy for her, Amara remained humble, still visiting the market occasionally, not to sell, but to greet old friends and share food to those in need. She is now rich through the help of her helper, Mr. Martins. She no longer struggled to make ends meet. She have her own restaurant, and she promised to always support the needy. As time went on, Martins began visiting her more often with intentions deeper than charity. Martins spends time with Amara and her siblings, taking them on outings, teaching Chisholm how to code, and reading bedtime stories to Keoma. Amara slowly begins to trust him not just as a helper, but as a man. They talk about life, faith, family, and dreams. Martins tells her about his lonely upbringing in a mansion, the betrayals he faced from gold diggers, and how he started the Beggar test to find someone real. Amara was happy he found her and also begins to realize she's falling for him. News of their relationship spreads like wildfire because Martins is a kind of influencer personality. Many call Amara a gold digger. Obina's board members are furious, especially his ex-fiancée, Clara, who tries to win him back. One day, Clara visits Martins' home and is surprised to see her. Martins had gone for work, leaving Amara and her siblings at home. "I know you're a witch. What are you doing my man's house? You're just a banana hawker. What do you have that Martins could possibly want?" Amara felt humiliated after the insult Clara gave to her. She left, warning Amara to leave Martins for her. Amara nearly ends things, believing Martins deserves someone more polished, but when Martins came back, he assures her nothing would happen to her. He further said that he don't want polish. He want heart, and hers shines brighter than gold. One faithful day, Martins takes Amara to his mother's house to introduces her to his mother. The house looks beautiful. Martins builds it for her before building his own. Mama Martin is a beautiful woman and looks young. Martin was really taking good care of her. When they got in, Martin's mother was surprised to see Martins. He didn't told her that he was coming. Amara greeted her and she also welcomed her. They discussed about Amara's family and the tragedy of their death and many more for a while. Martin's mother, initially skeptical, is soon won over by Amara's honesty and humility. Martins falls even deeper in love with Amara. Right in the house, Martins kneeled down and proposed to Amara. "Amara, for the first time you showed me love. I knew you are the true love I have been looking for. Please, I want you to be my wife, the mother of my children. With you, I know I have peace." Tears streamed down Amara's face. After a moment, she finally said yes. Martins is very happy, so with the mother, they hugged each other and celebrated. Preparations begin. Designers, event planners, and even international media take interest in their unusual love story. Amara's wedding becomes the talk of the town. She wears a beautiful white wedding gown while Martins wears a pink design suit. They dance, laugh, and seal their union with a kiss as fireworks explode above. Amara opens a foundation for market women and orphan children. She builds a school named after her parents and a health center for widows. Every week, she still visits the market now, driving herself in a Benz, handing food items to children, and giving hope to the hopeless. Months later, Martin sits beside Amara in their garden as their children play nearby. He hands her a ripe banana and laughs. "Remember this?" She smiles. "The fruit that changed my life." He replies, "No, Amara, it was never the fruit. It was the heart that gave it." And in the golden light of sunset, the once poor banana seller rests her head on the shoulder of the man who saw her heart and gave her the world. Thank you for watching our story. I hope you enjoy it. Please do well to subscribe to our channel and also turn on your notifications bell so you will get notified anytime we post new video. Bye!